Hi everyone, my name's Callum and today I'll be pitching the UOW Digital Media Society and the Future of Professional Societies as my BCM325 digital artifact. In this beta version of the project, there are a few different things to cover, so let's get into it. As indicated in my initial pitch, the concept for this digital artifact is the society itself. DMS is the first and only club at UOW for communication media and digital media students, and works to connect students with opportunities to network, develop skills, and build portfolios, something pretty unique at UOW. Some of my peers felt there was a touch of ambiguity as to what my DA actually entailed in that initial pitch, partially because what I actually intended to do was buried in the methodology section rather than being in the concept. So, this is what I intended to do. A 5-year strategic plan, a system of Google Forms to gain feedback and connect students with opportunities, and a general maintenance of our social media, although this is something that the whole executive collaborates on. We know that student societies are fragmenting. The product of an increasing focus on online lectures is a campus that's a transient location, rather than a hub. However, participating in student societies can improve academic performance and can make things easier socially for regional, remote, and first and family students. As such, I've reframed this project to focus more on grand strategy and project management, rather than skill building, to avoid stepping on the toes of the other two executives completing this project. Before anybody brings this up in my comments, yes, I am aware that this is basically an essay. I've researched the future of student societies and how these can change to account for technological change. I've consulted with Dr. Chris Moore and Dr. Ted Mitev, as well as my own executive team and executives from the Diplomacy and Foreign Affairs Society on campus, who I have a close association with as well. There'll be a link to our planning document below. It's still very much a work in progress. A big part of our planning process is VUCA. VUCA, standing for Volatile, Uncertain, Complex and Ambiguous, describes the modern job market not only for creatives but for Australian society and businesses. By assuming that the economy, technological developments and audiences can be volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous as well, businesses and organisations are encouraged to take on a more entrepreneurial mindset to keep themselves from becoming obsolete. This is particularly pertinent for leaders such as myself. The Australian Government's Future Frontiers Analytical Report on the Future of Work in Australia clearly highlights that DMS's target demographic will be a growing segment of the economy, particularly as technological disruption redefines routine tasks and places more of a focus on non-routine, white-collar jobs at the expense of blue-collar segments of the economy. So to account for VUCA, we intend to cover 3 pillars with this strategy: sensing change, seizing opportunities, and transforming organisations. This gives us a broader set of goals but will give us a good framework to account for any changes going forward. For example, we know that our executives are going to be graduating soon. We're in a great position to identify talent and replace them. Knowing that that's on the horizon, we'll need to scope out talent and transform our executives as time goes on if need be, positions changing to reflect this changing demographic. Other contingencies, such as attempting to break disinformation feedback loops and future goals, such as aiming to position the society as one of the more involved on campus, are also outlined. The next 12 months are going to be very interesting for UOW. We're in the final stages of a 5-year strategic plan, and as DMS grows, we stand to benefit. Additionally, as funds are cut from the Uniclubs program at UOW, DMS will need to look at ways of becoming more sustainable. The second chunk of the DA is a Google Forms feedback system. This has been fairly straightforward to implement and covers feedback forms for individual events as well as a system to connect students with work opportunities. It's basically its own feedback loop and has helped inform the plan both in terms of participation and what we can work towards. This works hand in hand with our third component of the DA, social media. We've relied on Twitter to share our content, including the Google Forms, and have distributed forms after our events as well. In terms of iteration, something that I've been encouraged to focus on is generating some motivation to engage both with DMS on the whole, specifically events and degree content. As universities move ever closer to a business focus, they replace an intrinsic curiosity and desire to learn with some kind of expectation that the degree that will get them everything, which simply isn't true. A solution offered by Chris has been to place the focus for engagement on a desire not to waste money or to unnecessarily get in debt, which could improve engagement across the board. So here's where we're at going forward. See you online.